Initially, I wanted to talk about the quote-unquote fact that crosshair mods, filters, and Rust or Call of Duty like DayZ servers are destroying this game. But while researching that, I remembered a scene that happened a couple of weeks ago, which perfectly summarizes why DayZ is so different, unique, and special compared to other games. And before we press play on that scene, yes, it's a German conversation, but I'll add subtitles and obviously talk about it afterwards. So here it is. Gehen wir vom Norden dran, oder? Vom Bergauf. Bergab ist halt...
Ihr seid so kurz vorm Fall und dann fangt ihr so ein bisschen an zu zittern.
Ja, ja.
Ja, das habe ich gerade wieder. Also das...
Das hat man halt nur in DayZ, ne? Das ist
ja,
so
das ist wieder dieses Feeling. Stirbst du nicht.
Das ist doch pures Abfuck.
Das nervt echt, mir wird dann auch immer kalt, wenn ich...
Ja, genau, mir auch gerade.
Das ist, weil der Körper, weil man wirklich Angst vor einem Spiel hat. Also es wird einem ja kalt, weil der Körper alles, das Blut zu den wichtigen Organen zieht in so einem Moment.
Digga, der fangen auch die Zähne an zu klappern und alles. Oh, Digga.
Ja, so schon jetzt nicht, aber...
Das Problem daran ist ja auch, wir müssen Plus holen. Wir rennen gerade all in mit unserem besten Zeug.
Oh. So that basically means that we as grown men get scared by pixels and our body cannot tell the difference between a video game and real life. Kinda sad, but funny at the same time. But yeah, in all honesty, this is what makes DayZ so good, because at its core it's an online open world zombie survival game. And what should be the point or the main goal of a survival game? Actually surviving. And if you value your life to the point that you actually feel real fear, then this game achieved its goal, because you are actively trying to survive and you are valuing your life in this game. But wait, why do we value our DayZ life so much, and to the point that our body really believes that we are in danger? That it releases stress hormones, that it pulls back the blood to our core, that we start to shiver a bit, that we get cold hands and we breathe faster. Why is that? First of all, that is because dying in DayZ is permanent and you lose everything. For the majority of the time you lose everything, because you don't have time to get back to your body, or the enemy has obviously looted your stuff. That is the next reason, the loot, because getting good loot takes a lot of time. Acquiring the skills that you need to get this loot also takes time on top of that. So we know instinctively, subconsciously, and even consciously that getting the equipment that we are now running around with took us a lot of our lifetime about. And yeah, that is why we obviously don't want to lose that, don't want to die. In the end, it's a video game, but that is how our brain works. We don't want to lose this progress. In the end, it's about the experience and not about keeping the pixels. But yeah, tell that your subconscious and see if it works. Most of the time it doesn't, and we still react the way that we are reacting. But now, honest question, do you know other games that give you such an intense and immersive experience like DayZ? We obviously have horror games, but they are programmed to induce fear in you. And as we all know, DayZ is much more than a horror game, and it has a lot more to offer. So if you know any other intense games, then please let me know in the comments. And on top of that, there's another thing that makes this game even better, and that is the creative community and the infinite amounts of mods and community servers. Because as you probably know, your DayZ experience and the gameplay that you will get highly depend on the server that you choose to play on. And what shocked me the most is that highly modded PvP servers, which, as you probably know, are the servers that I mostly play on at this point in time, also give you the same reaction and investment and intense experience than the normal vanilla survival servers do. Because even though the gameplay is completely different, the main goal is still to survive, because it is still DayZ and you still lose everything when you die, which leads to the fact that you value your life a lot. And on top of that, PvP servers bring a completely new level to DayZ, and that is the competitive shooter level. Because the focus is so much on the guns and on the PvP itself, your gameplay, your mechanics, your aim, your team communication become even more important than on the normal servers, because there are a lot of sweaty good players, and if you want to compete and if you don't want to die in every fight, then you need to work on that and you need to improve that, which is so attractive for me because I come from a competitive shooter background from Counter-Strike Valorant, and yeah, I can still implement that into my DayZ gameplay on those kinds of servers, because stuff like aim and mechanics and communication are, like I said, very important. Combine that with the DayZ setting of the open world online survival anxiety inducing gameplay where you value your life, and you have a very interesting and unique game that I still play after years of playing it. That being said, I can also understand why people dislike those kinds of servers, because in the end the gameplay is so far away from what DayZ initially was, and it is no longer a realistic zombie survival game. It is more like a modern action game, and I obviously also don't want the original DayZ DNA to be forgone. But the cool thing is that there are a lot of other survival servers or Vanilla Plus servers that give you exactly that OG DayZ experience. And in the end, we shouldn't hate the server choice of another DayZ player. We should all work together and be happy about the fact that this game is still alive and so popular because of the many mods and the many different playstyles that there are. So work together instead of fight against each other. But yeah, I mean, that's also a human thing and something that DayZ perfectly spotlights, that yeah, humans tend to fight each other and yeah, not work together. But yeah, that is also a very human thing to do, and something that DayZ perfectly highlights, because it is also a social experiment. But yeah, I'm sure you are aware of that fact no matter what server you play on. In the end, what is your DayZ experience? Why do you play this game? Do you also experience real fear like I am, and what server do you like to play on? If you like those kinds of videos, if you would like to hear more about what I believe the psychology behind DayZ is, then please check out my video. If you want to know what your DayZ playstyle tells me about yourself, then check out that video. And yeah, other than that, please tell me what you think down in the comments. If you want to see more, subscribe to this channel, but you know how YouTube works. Other than that, thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and yeah, see ya, bye bye.
Nah, we don't take no losses. Stop it, you know that we straight young bosses.